Straight in here at Shenington with the Sodikart Academy for Micromax. And it's going to be Rory Armstrong and Christian Stefanov on the front row from Jack Freeman and James Roberts, Lucas Blantford and Jensen O'Neill going, Jacob Rump, Luke Broadbent and Hayley Findlater. A 9-kart field, a lot better than we've seen previously. So now let's see if we're going to have a great race here at Shenington. Almost certainly we will. Lucas Blantford is our 360 onboard cameraman. As away we go to the first corner, and we come up towards Cafe in through the right-hander. Already a decent solid start as the drivers work their way through. Got to try and pick a line and stick with it. It's very easy to get spat off here. And the drivers work their way through. That's a nice clean start. No problems at all for Armstrong. Up at the front end of the field, Stefanov already under pressure as up on the inside line. That is the 37 working the way through. That is Roberts. So Roberts gets through into second position. Already a very solid start. Into the Bruno Ferrari chicane. Everybody keeping it nice and tidy on this opening lap. Hayley Findlater still very close with the rest of the field, so that is exactly what we wanted. We didn't want the field to get too spread out on the opening lap. And now already Roberts trying to stretch away, but Stefanov still there in third position, looking for the way to come past into the top two position once again. So the drivers come through, but it's Armstrong out in the lead and hoping to try and extend the gap. But already James Roberts is very close in behind. Stefanov there in third position, looking for the long way round at Cafe.
Championship leader leads it. Armstrong all the way from Northern Ireland once more for Rory. But he's out front, but for how long? Not very is the answer, as Roberts looks like he goes up the inside. That Jack Freeman picked out. And now Armstrong down to third, looks like possibly fourth, Jake.
He's got to hold on through the Bruno Ferrari chicane. He does commit to the inside line, holds the line. So unfortunately for Jack Freeman, he's going to have to try and go for third position once more. Blantford, who are on board with there briefly, fifth position. Then O'Neill going, Rump, Broadbent and Findlater. And this is a great little squabble between the top five. Lucas Blantford trying to make his step up, of course, from Honda Cadet. This would be a brilliant campaign opportunity for him in 2022, just getting some preliminary running in at the end of 2021, already starting to make his bid on Freeman. Freeman covers the inside line through Cafe, and Blantford is not quite able to get the switchback manoeuvre. Now as they come up to the hairpin, though, he might get his opportunity onto the inside line. The top three remain as they are, and in fact, Blantford decides to wait for his opportunity on Jack Freeman as they go down the back straight.
We had a great three-way battle at Glannygorse Park last time, and this looks like developing into a decent five-way battle. Got the three drivers in behind them. That's O'Neill going, Jacob Rump and Luke Broadbent, and Hayley Findlater with a little bit of work to do. But good to see this battle. 9 in it this weekend. I think we had half a dozen last time. We've had 25 do the Sodikart Academy this year, and I am appealing for all of those 25 to come to the last round. What a last round that would be if everyone turns up. And I understand from the organiser that they're going to allow people to use their own cart. So if you've got a chassis already, you don't have to hire a Sodikart chassis if you don't have one. You just have to hire the engine for the final round.
Stefanov through, Armstrong through, Freeman through. So Roberts really struggling. Blantford's going to try and commit to the inside of Bruno Ferrari chicane as well. Roberts still there on the inside line through the left though. So he manages to only drop to fourth. But still, it's so difficult in that hairpin. When you lose just a little bit of momentum, the rest of the field will take full advantage. Up into Wilkins in the hairpin. So Blantford is going to have to try again here on James Roberts, who drops from the lead to fourth position. But Blantford didn't quite have the momentum to go with the three drivers in front of him to storm past Roberts as well. So now he's got to try again. And the two leaders already trying to stretch well clear. This is not going to be so easy. But Stefanov and Armstrong have got well in front of Jack Freeman, who is now third position on board with Blantford. On the inside of Roberts, into the hairpin. Absolutely perfect, but he slides a little bit on exit, and that's enough for Roberts to get straight back on the undercut. Excellently timed.
Great action from the 360 camera yet again. These cameras have been a real game changer for the sport over the last year or so since we started using them. And great action once more. We're on board there with Lucas Blantford. That's Christian Stefanov picked out. First appearance in the championship, and he leads the race. Let's hope it won't be his last appearance in the championship. We've got one round to go at the end of the season, Warden Law. And as I said before, I'm appealing to all of the drivers that have appeared in this championship this year to come to that final round. And what a final round it would be, Jake.
Very cool.
If we had 25 drivers on the grid. in this class, it would really set it up nicely for next season. James Roberts giving the push signal. Blantford takes absolutely no notice, and that slides right up the inside.
No, he doesn't need to at all. He's obviously working with Roberts down the straight there, but he's obviously got machinations of his own to focus on. He wants to go for the drivers up in front. So there's 3 competitors up the road, and he clearly feels, well, I've got a slightly better run than you do, Jack, so I'm going to get through. Thanks very much. Through the James Roberts on the inside line. Roberts gets back through. Jack Freeman, by the way, is catching up to Stefanov and Armstrong. So Freeman, just by staying in position, look at how insistent James Roberts is. Stay behind me, work with me, we can catch them. Well, Lucas says, I know we can catch them, but I'm going to be the one in front.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I love it. And he's doing it again. Why wouldn't you? He's going to go up the inside here, Blantford at the hairpin, is he? No, he's not, because Roberts is now going to defend and stop him doing that. He's going to try and get him on the switchback. He comes alongside with a wheel banging down the inside, and now Blantford's got the inside line. Blantford, of course, is doing 2 classes this weekend. We know he's a winner at Lark Hall in the Honda Cadet class. He's doing Honda Cadet this weekend, and this is his first effort in the Sodikart Academy class. Obviously, he's 12 years of age, so next year we're looking to move up. And let's hope he goes Micromax, Jake. Here's the battle further back.
Yep, this is for P6. We've got O'Neill going on the inside there. Gets the run on Jacob Rump. So a nice overtake there from Jensen O'Neill going. Great to see him in the Micromax category. I remember him when he was about 7 inches tall. Goodness me, he was a little babe when I first clapped eyes on Jensen O'Neill going. Great to see. He's obviously been growing up in the world of motorsport with the Jam Sport operation in the Fiesta junior and senior categories on the club scene. Now he's old enough to go racing. I'll bet his dad, Jamie Going, is very ambivalent about it. He obviously races himself as well in the Fiesta categories, but he'll be delighted and rather frustrated that Jensen is racing as well, because obviously that's going to make his racing budget double.
Absolutely. Nice battle there for 6th place. This is back with the battle for the lead now. It's still Stefanov out front, doing a great job. He's got the championship leader in behind him. Championship leader Rory Armstrong will want to go by as soon as he possibly can. Here comes Blantford and Roberts, and they're now detached, Jake, because of course, as we've seen, they've been battling. And of course, this is what happens. It was a 5-way battle. Now it's a 3-way battle for the lead, because the 2 battling for 4th and 5th have been battling, squabbling over that position, and it's cost them a load of track time.
This is not going to be easy to settle either, because there's a lot of overtaking opportunities for a Micromax here at Shenington. You come through Bruno Ferrari chicane, that's an obvious one. Onto the back straight, then you flip through Hanger, and on the run to Wilkins. You can actually slide it up the inside line and get a perfect manoeuvre. Armstrong will be thinking about it, but it's about whether he feels it's the right moment. He's still got a long way to go in this race, don't forget. So you don't just want to charge it up the inside and hope it's going to stick. You need to know that not only can you get the overtaking move, but you can also get the run off the hairpin as well, because there's a lot of momentum you can lose if you get Wilkins wrong. That will take you all the way to Cafe Corner. You can drop about 6 kart lengths off the kart in 2nd place. So there's a lot of momentum you lose if you get it wrong. Up into the hairpin. Is this going to be the chance? No, just taking his time, letting Christian Stefanov do all the hard work.
Great performances by Jack Freeman in 3rd place. Obviously Stefanov out front, his first appearance in the championship. This is the 2nd appearance for Jack Freeman. We know he was 4th last time at Glannygorse, but a little bit detached from the top 3. He's not detached from the top 3 today. He's in the top 3, in 3rd, and looking for something better.
So Armstrong still just biding his time here, waiting for his move on Christian Stefanov. You don't just rush in for the overtake and send it. You've got to time it to perfection. There's a long race here, and if you want to win the final, you need to get the right overtaking move, not just the first one you see, as you're having to think about 3 or 4 corners ahead of where you currently are on the circuit. You can make the overtaking move, that's fine, but if you lose momentum into the next straight, into the next apex, then you're going to compromise yourself. You could fall back down to 3rd position again, so you have to time it right. And Freeman is in the box seat here. He's just watching Stefanov and Armstrong, waiting for the initial manoeuvre. If he's close enough to them, he could leapfrog both drivers.
Absolutely. If you're watching this class for the first time, Sodikart Academy class, it's a pooled engine class, so drivers draw for an engine, so they're all exactly the same, and the karts are all Sodikarts. So you're on exactly the same equipment, so it's a great concept. It works really well in Europe, Jake. It's new to the UK this year, hence why we've not seen massive grids. but we have seen 25 in the championship over the course of the season, as I said earlier.
Oh, a big moment between the two drivers further back. That's Jacob Rump and Jensen O'Neill Going, just getting a tiny bit too close together. Now, is O'Neill Going to be able to keep moving? It looks like he won't. I'm afraid he's going to pull off. So they are battling away down the back straight. This is the move for Freeman. He's going to get on the inside. I think that's Armstrong through into the lead, and Stefanov is going to struggle to hang on a second from Jack Freeman as they go down the straight. Yes, it is Armstrong leading, and in third, Freeman. He's not quite been able to get past Stefanov yet, but now he's looking for the move into Wilkins. They come through the right-hand hairpin and back on the power, and this is going to be Armstrong hanging on.
And look at that, Armstrong's already pulled a couple of kart lengths. That suggests he's got more pace than Stefanov in behind. He's just been having a look at him. Here's Freeman up the inside. That is a fantastic move by Jack Freeman. And Stefanov loses, oh, look at that, Jake, 12, 14 kart lengths as a consequence of that move.
This is what we're talking about in terms of momentum. It's very easy to lose a massive amount of ground if you just get a little bit off your line. So that was well taken by Jack Freeman. He saw the opportunity and decided to go for it. And he was able to stretch Stefanov to the outside of Cafe Corner where it's a little bit dirtier. And there's nothing wrong with that maneuver at all. You're basically placing your opponent in a position where they've got to make the choice to back out. And unfortunately, Stefanov couldn't back out in time.
No, perfect, clean move by Jack Freeman. That's what we like to see. You can see that is O'Neill Going's kart being pulled off in the background there, so he's going no further, unfortunately, for Jensen.
Look at the momentum that Freeman's carrying in the draft of Armstrong. He's actually gaining momentum on him. He was a good 6 kart lengths further back from him on that last lap, and he is actually chasing Armstrong. He's catching him. Freeman could actually pose a challenge to Armstrong in the closing stages of this race. There's a little bit more time to go, but Armstrong is on his own. He's cutting through the air by himself, and that's always a tough position to be in. But Freeman can just follow in his waft, and he's actually gaining ground on the back straight.
A few issues with the timing, I think, so the positions on screen may not be the positions on track, but it is Armstrong on the 66 there, being closed, as you say, Jake, by Jack Freeman on the 93. What a great performance this is by Jack. We know Rory Armstrong's got a load of pace, leads the Micromax UK Championship as well as this championship as well. And for Jack Freeman to be putting him under pressure as the timing seems to come back on our screen, at least anyway, I'm not sure on yours. But Armstrong now, who's got a load of pace, is now under pressure from Jack Freeman. So great performance by Jack today, his second appearance in the championship, and looks like Stefanov is now done in third place. I don't think he's going to close it from there as we approach the business end of this race.
It's a solid debut from Christian Stefanov. He can be very pleased with that. There's Luke Broadbent running in the top 6, still trying to gain ground on James Roberts. But how about this? Jack Freeman is absolutely charging, and he feels that there is still a chance to get one over on Rory Armstrong before the end of this race. And as they continue to battle away, the gap that Freeman has reduced to Rory Armstrong is absolutely massive. 3 laps ago, that was a good 15 to 16 kart lengths. Now it's almost a cigarette paper.
And it's last lap as well as we go up to the Stratford hairpin for the last time. Freeman looking for a way past, but the opportunities are running out.
See, Armstrong defended there into the hairpin. He didn't actually need to, and he's moving to cover. Freeman's not quite close enough yet, but by defending, he's taking himself off the racing line, and now Freeman is close enough. So they come down the straight again. Freeman will obviously be looking for his opportunity. If he's brave into Wilkins, he may get the chance on the exit. He's going to go the long way round. Armstrong will move to cover. It's going to be just running out of time for Jack Freeman. He's done the best he possibly can, but it's going to be Armstrong. He takes the victory from Freeman and Stefanov, and Blantford will just beat a very frustrated James Roberts across the finish line. Although, as you'll see on the results post-race, James Roberts has actually been awarded 4th position in front of Blantford by 33 thousandths of a second. Luke Broadbent coming home in P6, Hayley Finlater in front of Jacob Rump, and Jensen O'Neill Going, rather sadly, unable to finish the race. But Rory Armstrong taking the win in front of Jack Freeman and the debutant Christian Stefanov. Great racing from the boys on the podium.
Well, some great racing in those Sodikart Academy Micromax karts there. Rory Armstrong took the win in spite of a strong challenge from Jack Freeman in the closing laps. But I have to say, from this elevated position, watching the race unfold, they were all learning their craft and they seemed to be having a whole lot of fun. Let's hear what Rory had to say when I caught up with him at the podium.
Rory, fantastic race. That's got to be one of the Micromax races of the season. You come out on top again, well done. Just talk us through the final though.
Well, it was very close. Quite a few people could have won it, and I managed to latch on to first place while I was in second. Started pushing him for a couple of laps just to try and get away from the others, and then with a couple of laps to spare I got by him and managed to win the race.
And the age-old question, who do you want to thank?
I'd like to thank Reese and Maddie at Hunter Motorsport, Emma, Bradley and Mark at Sodikart Academy.
Okay, well done.
Thank you.
An excellent win for Rory Armstrong. He now takes the lead of the title race by 4 points to Zane Quaker, who was absent this weekend. It's getting pretty tight for third position as well. Roberts is only 14 ahead of Jack Freeman. Rocky Mulvaney and Jacob Brunt will hopefully fight for the 5th position spot in the championship at the season finale at Warden Law in Sunderland. It's going to be a great end to the season. To catch up with all the other races here at Shenington, just search for the UKC Round 5 playlist.